So let me start with a positive aspect of it because when a parent puts a child in a walker, most of the time it's a hands-free period for the parents, especially for the mother or the primary caregiver, to be able to get to do other things. And then, when a child is engaged or busy playing with the walker, then the mother has other things that she could attend to. So it's like it's a free time. And then also, we hear that it helps the child to learn how to walk. We will discuss that. All right. Also, parents seem to like it because it's also a way of getting the baby who usually spends most of the time lower or in a plane that is on the ground to almost like come up and be upright and look like mom and dad. So it's also a very it's like a big step for the baby now to be upright like mom and dad because they've got something to hold on. And then when it moves, they also step and step. So it's like I can walk like mom and dad. So I'm looking at those as advantages, but let's just dive in and talk about why I don't like walkers so much. All right. It is presumed that the walkers help with practicing standing and for practicing walking. I disagree. I don't think that the walker is ideal for helping a child to walk. And let me explain that. Most of the time, because of the wheels, and you look at the child's age and how much steps are expected of them in the beginning stages, it just moves too fast. There is little control of the wheels in the walker, and then it means that the child can tip off at any time. The child can fall for the local ones, and then also for the foreign ones that we know, the ones that the child is inside. It's like the child is trapped in there and the legs are moving whichever way that the walker is moving them. They don't have as much control over the device. So it's more like the equipment is controlling the child and not the child controlling the equipment. So I would say that if you ever think of buying a walker, think twice about it. There has been bans on walkers in some countries of the world. Um, in Ghana or in West Africa, there aren't much countries that have banned walkers, especially in Ghana, anyone can still use walkers. But if something is being banned in other countries, then you must understand that it's actually quite dangerous. It's led to a lot of injuries for children and it's led to even death. When a child who is in a walker tips over or falls down, most of the injuries are around the head and the neck. These are very, very dangerous injuries. They sustain fractures. Some just can't make it and they die. Sometimes the upper extremities, the arms also get into injuries. Things like accidents from hot liquids, accidents from electrical gadgets. Because when the child is up like that and they don't need to control anything but just move as the wheel guides and direct them, they move towards things that may potentially be dangerous. And we must understand that at that age, before one, the kids don't have that much judgment to say that, oh, I'm not supposed to pull on this electrical wire, or I'm not supposed to go near this furniture and pull it down. It could potentially fall down on me. They don't know that. So you don't leave a child in a walker and for the child to just move around and explore and touch. It's very, very dangerous, especially with houses that have stories. If the house is a story building and there are staircases, it causes a lot of damage. Some kids just tumble downstairs and break their necks. most don't survive. I would say that if ever you will use a walker for your child, don't take that as a free time. They must be watched closely. And then there are other things also in terms of the let me say, when you put the child in a walker, there is a net. I don't know if some of you have seen the walker, obviously, because I'm sure there are mothers here. The walker has a net with holes for the legs to enter. And then for those ones, sometimes you realize that the length of
The child is suspended. Basically, the child gets suspended.
yes, the child gets suspended, and then sometimes the tips of their foot tend to touch the ground, and then they use the tip to walk, and that eventually can lead to structural damages or difficulties later on with a child. They will tend to toe walk or tiptoe when they walk later on in life. We must try to avoid that as much as possible. And also, when they are suspended, there are damages that go on around the child's hips. So we must always be sure. I would, if I ever would use anything close to a walker, I would choose the one that has adjustable height. Make sure that your child's foot is flat on the ground, at least to prevent that aspect of tiptoeing or toe walking later on in life. Make sure that the foot is flat on the ground, okay? And then the hands are also free to move on the plate of the walker. A better alternative to will be just go for these activity centers or these tables that have simple activities that are stuck on them that a child can stand and play on top, because that is more ideal. When they say the child is practicing walking in the walker, that is not walking. Before you walk, you need to find your standing balance. And most kids that are put in the walker don't even have the standing balance to move on to step out of balance and try to keep themselves up. So in the long run, you realize that the children that didn't even go in the walkers learn how to walk faster than those who are in the walker.